This lecture is the only midterm lecture for biopharmaceutics. It's all about drug absorption. I am definitely sure that you are aware of some points about drug absorption already, and I'm just going to add some more so that you will be familiarized with how drug absorption works in the body. Because actually, it's very important. It's the leading point towards getting the effect you want from your drug, from your medications. Now we start again with the biopharmaceutic principles. Always remember that the goals of biopharmaceutics, you want to develop a dosage form that will provide consistent bioavailability at a desirable rate. You want to adjust the delivery of drug to the general circulation in such a manner as to provide optimal therapeutic activity and safety for the patient. And lastly, you want to determine the ultimate dose and dosage form of a drug product. With regards to the absorption of drugs, you have to remember three important things. First, the absorption process. Second, the membrane properties that inhibit drug passage or even allow drug passage. And then third, the physicochemical factors that influence drug passage. With drug absorption process class, I think you already know the definition of absorption, right? It's the transportation of unchanged medicinal agent from the route of administration to the blood circulation. The drug needs to cross the cell membrane for absorption to happen. Now, for the drug absorption mechanism, I'm already talking about the drug process, okay? Just to have some recall. For the drug absorption mechanism, it can either be with the help of different transport processes depending on the properties of your drug. You can have the transport process through simple diffusion, or also known as passive diffusion. We also have filtration, facilitated diffusion, active transport, and pinocytosis or endocytosis. You already know these things, hopefully. Okay? For drug transport process, the most commonly used mechanism is passive diffusion. Remember that it's transportation of your solute from high concentration to low concentration. It doesn't need a carrier protein. It doesn't require energy, and it can be divided into osmosis, passive aqueous diffusion, or passive lipid diffusion. Next, your membrane properties, the second part. I already mentioned this before to you, okay? The membrane properties such as saan ba gawa yung membrane? It's made up of a phospholipid bilayer, diba? Meaning it is made up of phosphates and lipids. It is semi-permeable, which allows certain molecules to pass through the membrane. Very simple, diba? And also, it has integral proteins. It has also a carbohydrate component. Now, for the properties of membrane, number one, kailangan tandaan is the permeability. And I've already discussed this to you before. In terms of permeability, you need to know that only lipid-soluble drugs can cross the cell membrane. There's a certain molecular size that allows the drug to pass freely. Okay? And then you also have to consider if it's ionized or non-ionized, and also the concentration of the drug. Now, next, I will focus with the third part. For today's lecture, I will be discussing more on the physicochemical factors that influence drug passage or drug absorption. So here's a summary. We will have to look upon drug dissolution, drug solubility, particle size and surface area, partition coefficient, extent of ionization, salt formation, polymorphism, hydrates, and complex formation. First, drug solubility is the mass of solute that dissolves in a specific mass or volume of solvent at a given temperature. Please remember this definition of drug solubility. A drug solute dissolves in a certain solvent with the aid of temperature. Okay, let's cite an example. For a solid drug particle to undergo a good dissolution process, no? Kailangan siyang maging drug in solution at the absorption size. So a certain drug has a good dissolution rate if from a solid drug particle it becomes an appropriate drug in solution at the absorption site. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating insoluble drugs class. Insoluble drugs, for example, yung mga hydrophobic and poorly aqueous soluble drugs. These are water-insoluble drugs, right? Their rate-limiting step or their rate-determining step is their dissolution. Kasi nga, mahirap silang gawin into solution. They are hydrophobic. So, dissolution is the rate-limiting step for water-insoluble drugs such as, for example, griseosulfin, an antifungal drug, and spironolactone, a diuretic. Next, the particle size and surface area. These two are inversely related. Dissolution rate is directly proportional to the surface area, and this is reflected by the Navier-Whitney equation, which I will be discussing, or I will give you a glimpse or a short background about Navier-Whitney on a different lecture. Now, we just go with the theories for the meantime. Ang particle size and surface area, they are inversely related. Please remember this class because these are questions usually asked in the boards. What is the relationship of particle size and surface area? When you have decreased particle size and the surface area is increased, that means you have good absorption, okay? When you have a large particle size, your surface area decreases. Then, with the decreased surface area, short lang yung area mo for absorption. So, less ang absorption. Please look at this picture, class. You can see here, di ba, may small particles. When you have smaller particles, mas malaki yung surface area mo. And that gives you more chances of a better absorption. More chance of a better absorption, rather. More drug substance is spread kasi nga malaking surface area mo, maluwang yung space. Hence, more drugs is absorbed over time. Meanwhile, when you have a large particle, when you have large particles of the drug, liliit ang iyong surface area. You have less chance of spread, less drug can spread, hence lesser amount is absorbed over time. So which is good for better absorption? Is it the decreased particle size? Is it the drug with the decreased particle size? Or the drug with a large particle size? Of course, dun ka sa smaller particle size. Very easy, diba? I hope you understand. You just don't memorize. You analyze, you picture, you visualize kung paano ba gumagalaw yung drug sa loob ng katawan. Okay? Now, where will the drug be dissolved more? Ayan, this is a very nice picture. You just imagine this one. You have two drugs. Okay? And then with the different surface area, for A, we have 5m squared surface area, a large surface area. And then for B, you have a 2 meter squared surface area. So, dun ka syempre sa mas malaki. Mas better absorption when you have an increased surface area. Now, we have here a graph which compares absorption versus particle size. On the x-axis, time in hours, and on the y-axis, it's phenacetin concentration in micrograms per ml. So, class, hindi tayo sa concentration na. We're not talking about the concentration. We're talking about the particle size. Pansinin nyo, yung blue, which has fine particles, maliliit lang, smaller particle sizes of your drug, yung dark blue, pansinin nyo, at a very short time, nagpipeak na ang kanyang absorption. Okay? In less than 1 hour, maganda na kanyang absorption. And the peak of its absorption is at 1 hour. Okay? So, mataas ang kanyang, marami ka nang na-absorb na drug kasi mataas yung concentration, di ba? At 9 micrograms per ml ang na-absorb mo na in 1 hour. This is because you have fine particles which were better absorbed. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Meanwhile, for the coarse, yung violet, very konti lang ang na-absorb mo. Around 1 microgram per ml lang ang na-absorb mo within 1 hour in comparison with the fine particles. Okay, yung fine particles mo at 1 hour, you were able to absorb 9 micrograms per ml. So, I hope you can see the difference. Excessive particle size reduction does not always increase dissolution rate in case of hydrophobic drugs. This is the exemption. Take note, small particles tend to reaggregate into larger particles to reduce the high surface free energy produced by particle size reduction. Molecular dispersion of small particles in PEG, PVP, and dextrose or other agents prevent formation of aggregates. Like for example, in griseofulvin, which is a water-insoluble drug, hydrophobic drug, kung you combine it with PEG, okay, and then you prevent the formation of aggregates. Because when you have aggregates, mas magpo-form ka ng larger particle size, mas less ang absorption. That's why you can combine it with these drugs for better absorption. Next, polymorphism is the ability of a drug to exist in more than one crystalline form. Different polymorphs have different physical properties such as melting point, dissolution rate. Actually, meron pang iba. Polymorphism, it influences formulation development. It exhibits different solubility, dissolution rate, melting point, compactability, and hygroscopicity, etc. Now, depending at relative stability, one of the various polymorphs formed will be physically stable in comparison to others. Pag amorphism naman class, internal crystal structures are absent. Okay? Actually, ito yung pinakagusto nyo, yung amorphism. Pag mas marami kayong crystals, mas mahirap ang absorption. Now, amorphous or non-crystalline forms of a drug have faster dissolution rates than crystalline. Syempre, mas mahirap i-absorb yung mga nasa crystalline form compared dun sa non-crystalline. Okay? So, pag amorphism or amorph ang isang drug in its amorph form, it has the highest energy state. When you have a high energy state, you have increased aqueous solubility, and then you have better absorption. Okay? Now, kapag sinabi nating stable polymorph, it has the lowest energy state, it has the highest melting point, it has the least aqueous solubility, thus the least absorption. Okay? Next naman, pag metastable, when we say metastable polymorph, it has a high energy state, just like the amorph. It has a lower melting point. Thus, pag lower ang melting point, higher ang aqueous solubility, better ang bioavailability, better ang absorption. Now, kapag ika-classify nyo sila class, ano ang hindi pinakamaganda for absorption and which is best? The best one, this is according to decreasing order, okay? Best mo is amorph for absorption. Number 1, na good for absorption is the amorph form. And then next is the metastable. And then last lang yung stable. Kasi stable